Good morning. Today is one of the most exciting days that I get to teach because you all are ready to move to longer, more complex words. You all have done an amazing job going through levels 1, 2, and 3 of the spell of language, and you've learned a whole lot of vowel, consonant, vowel words, and now you're ready to move on, and we're going to learn something called the ending classification. So to start out, let's look at that word. Class. What is a class? Anybody have a definition of what a class can be?
A group of students.
A group of students. You all are a class. That's you. Because you're all in a group, you have something in common, you're all in the same grade, and you've been grouped together to organize a group of people, students. So that's what we're going to do today, except we're not going to group people. We're going to classify something else. So we've taken the noun class, put this ending on it, and now it's a verb. We're going to classify word endings. And we're going to take all these endings, every box has a different ending, and there are a lot of them. So to make it easier for you all to learn them, memorize them, use them, we're going to organize them into groups, into classes. We're going to classify them. I can also take that ending off and make this word classification. Now I've turned it into a noun by putting a different ending on it. So this shows you how you can change endings and change words, have them do different jobs. And this is one of my very, very favorite lessons because after I teach it and you all learn it, your reading and spelling just skyrocket. It becomes much easier for you. You have the skills and the knowledge to teach or read and spell much longer, more complex words. Okay, let's get started. Now, teaching the ending classification, you can do it in a variety of ways. We have the technology on the website to teach it right from the website with an interactive page. I choose to print out the classification, which you can also do directly from the website, and make a paper pencil activity. And that's how I choose to do it in my 3rd grade class. So you each are going to have your own classification grid. Right? So pick a pen, any pen. First thing we're going to do to classify a group of endings is read the first row at the top. Let's read those all together. And you can look up here. If you can't see it, just look at your paper. Able, circle, middle, rifle, angle, ankle, people, hassle, title, puzzle. Excellent. Do you see anything that all of those words have in common? John? They all end in E. That's absolutely right. They do all end in E. There's something we can add to that E. Maddie?
I noticed something.
Okay, good. What did you notice?
They have an L.
That's exactly right. They all end in an L and an E. They all end in an L and an E. We're going to add something to the L and the E. They all have another letter right before the L. They're all different though. This one's a B-L-E. This one's a C-L-E, D-L-E, F-L-E, G-L-E, and so on. All of those letters are consonants right before the L. So this ending is called a consonant L-E. Consonant L-E ending. Does that sound familiar to anybody? We had consonant L-E words on our lists when we've been working on reading and spelling. Each of those consonant L-E endings has a vowel sound in it that's the most common vowel sound in our language. Does anybody remember from our vowel classification that middle vowel sound in the middle of the classification? Do you remember what that vowel sound is? Kind of, you might say it when you're upset about something. You might go, ah. Remember the in the middle? That's the most common vowel sound in the English language. All of these endings in this classification have that schwa, that very common vowel sound in them. You can spell it many, many different ways. In these endings, that E is silent, but there is a schwa sound in that ending. Can you feel it? Let's say these bul, cul, dull. Do you hear that schwa sound in there? So this ending is called consonant, and that C is for the word consonant, not the letter C. So in your box, write dash, which represents the beginning of the word, C-L-E, consonant L-E. Underneath, I like to put that it equals the sound O. You can put a U, or there's another symbol for schwa, the upside down E. Either one works. Another thing I'd like you to do in this row is put a nice neat box just around the consonant LE endings on each of those words. So it will be around BLE and able, CLE and circle, and so on. Beautiful. You have classified your first group of schwa endings. This one's a very common one. You will see it all over the place. From now on, when you're spelling and reading, it will pop out at you. Okay? Let's try the next row. Let's read these words. Ready? Comfortable?
Comfortable.
Or comfortable? Visible.
Visible.
What do those words have in common? Why are those two words grouped together? Jack?
Yeah, B-L-E at the end.
They have a consonant LE at the end, BLE. But there's something, you're absolutely right. And there's something that makes them different from these consonant LEs. Right before the BLE, there's an A before this one and an I before this one. So it says able. Very common endings. Able. Comfortable, visible. So those ABLE and IBLE both say able. And the A in comfortable and the I in visible are both saying that schwa sound. So in this row, we're going to write the dash that represents the beginning of the word, the first syllables in the word, and so ABLE and IBLE equal able. Does anyone know why I put these backslashes around the ul and the able? That represents a sound. So when you see those marks, it means these are sounds, not letters. This is a spelling using letters. This is representing the sound ul. Okay. Now go ahead and put your boxes around this able and this able. Great. Beautiful. Now this big middle section is my favorite part. Raise your hand if you know how to use a multiplication chart. 6 times 6, and you bring your fingers together and you find the product. Then you're going to be able to do this no problem. It works much like a multiplication chart, which is really cool. Let's read this row of words. Sofa, minutia, Patricia, Russia, Asia, Georgia, cafeteria. See anything all of those words have in common? And we're focusing on endings, as you all have picked up.
The I and the A.
The I and the A. From here on, they all have an I and an A. This one doesn't, but you're right. These all do, and we are going to classify those together later. So without the I, they all end in A. Perfect. All of these words end in an A. Anybody know what that A is saying in all of those words? Sofa, minutia, up. That schwa sound. that sound that's the most common vowel sound in the English language. So here we're just going to write the dash that represents the whole beginning of the word and put the A. Underneath, that A equals A. Let's read the next row. Person, human, station, Martian, suspicion, magician, Russia, Asian, mansion, division, region, Norwegian, million, comedian. Now this has two different spellings that all of those words have in common. You see it on the ends of those words, and there are two of them. John, give me one. O-N. What's another one? Know the other one?
A-N.
A-N. Excellent. O-N and A-N. Anybody know what O-N and A-N are saying on all of those endings? Let's read human, Martian, Norwegian. Can you take that ending off and feel and hear, Jack? Un. There's that schwa again. That sound. Next row. Different, distant, patient, ancient, obedient, radiant. How can we classify those? How can we group those? What do they have in common? John?
E-N-T and A-N-T.
Excellent. E-N-T and A-N-T. And what are those saying? What are E-N-T and A-N-T saying? What do they sound like at the ends of those words? They both say the same thing. Two different spellings saying the same thing.
Ent and ant.
They look like ent and ant. Let's put them on a word and see. Different, distant, patient, ancient. They're all saying unt. They have that schwa sound. The Can you box the ENTs and the ANTs in that row, please? I want to go back to the unt row, spelled two different ways, ent and ant. Sometimes we do say ent, and that's why we have this schwa symbol and schwa sound. Depending on where you live, you may say vowel sounds differently. So when it's unclear, we have this schwa symbol to help us out. All right, now here's the fun part. We're going to go classify the words again, but going down. Okay? We're going to fill in these headers above the columns. Going down this column, we have, let's just read the first three words. Sofa, person, human, different, distant. What are all the vowels saying in all of those endings? They're saying the schwa sound, the . So in all of these endings, all the vowels are saying the same sound. Let's say it together. So in this row we call it vowel equals minutia. We've added two letters to the A. The A saying ah. The two letters are coming right before the A. Jack?
T-I.
T-I. Minutia. What are those T-I's? What is that T and I saying? Minutia. Shh. And all of these endings going down, you will see a T-I that is saying shh. Did any of you know that T-I could say shh? It's actually very common. T-I says shh quite a lot in the English language. Here are another two letters. All in this column, we add it to the vowel sound. There are two letters that also say shh in this column. Do you see two letters there? Jack?
CI.
CI. CI can also say shh. Russia and Asia, especially want to look at Asia. Here we have an SA again. Look, SIA, Asia. What's the SI saying? Asia. When we're talking about the zh sound, we spell it ZH. There are no words in the English language spelled with a ZH. That's just the symbol we use when we're talking about the sound. Zh. It's spelled SI. Georgia. What two letters did we add to the A in Georgia?
GI.
GI. And the GI is saying what? Ja. Good. Georgia, region, Norwegian. And the last column, we're adding a letter to the A ending. Does anybody see what letter that is? You see it easier on your chart?
RI.
Just the I, because there is an R there in this word, but it's not in all of the words. We're adding an I. What's the I saying in cafeteria? The A is saying Excellent, Maddie. What's the I saying right before the Cafeteria. E. Good, Maddie. So the I equals E. Now here's where the multiplication chart part comes in. This is my favorite part. If you take the A equaling the sound, A says and say you pick SI says Z, you put those together and you have SIA. Ja. If you take ENT or ANT and they say unt, and you add an I to it, it says unt, like in obedient. What's this all about? Why did we gray this box out? Why is there no SI? Why is there no junt? SI saying G plus an ENT. Why do we have a big gray box there, do you think? You just don't have to learn those? What do you think, Jeff?
Maybe because no word ends in junk.
There aren't any words that end that way. So we put a big gray box there because there are no words that exist that have that ending on them. That is a sampling of the endings on the ending grid. I did not teach it all today, and you know your class best. You judge how much to do at a time. You can break this up into many days. If you have older students who you think can do it all in one day, that's fine. I teach third grade. I choose to cover it in, depending on my class, 2 to 4 days. We're finished with your paper and pencil classification right now. You can close that if you want to leave it open for reference. Back in the old days, this was all we had. But now, with thespelloflanguage.com, there's an interactive page on the website for practicing the ending classification. So, do you see how this corresponds to what you just did? So this is the row where the A says good. These green boxes correspond to the rows. So A says take that, click and drag it there, and if you get it correct, it stays. I take one and put it in the wrong place, it goes back, so you'll know you get it incorrect. Person, human, station, Martian. Those are the on and an saying on. Maddie, which one of these says on and an
It's
says?
the last one.
You want to come click it and drag it in place? Fabulous, excellent. We did this row, ENT and ANT, what are they saying? Ent or unt? John, do you want to come click and drag that into place? Beautiful. Now you see these peachy pink ones? Those are the headers for our columns. They're color coordinated. So this is the vowel, says ah. Does anyone see which one of these heads this, where all the vowels are saying ah? Jack, you want to come put it in place? Beautiful, that's right. And then we added the TI. Remember what the TI says? Minutia, Martian, patience. What does the TI say? Shh. Good. Here we added CI, saying shh. So which one would we put there? Who wants to come up and give that a try? Jack? Good. And we have SI that can say two different things. It can say shh, or remember the other one? Shh, or it's when we turn our voice box on, shh, and we make a vibration, shh, and I can see it on your lips. Go ahead and say it. Anybody want to click and drag that one in? Maddie? So SI can say zh, which we show that zh sound with the spelling ZH. Is ZH a real spelling in the English language? Are there words that have the ZH in them? No. We just show the sound. Georgia. What did we add here? John? Go ahead. Tell us what we added. What two letters? Nice stretch. GI saying the sound that the J makes. What sound does the J make? In ja. And the last one, we added the letter I. Anybody want to put that last piece one in place? Go ahead, Jack. Excellent. Now, these are the actual endings that fit on each of these words. So we're not going to do all of them today. Let's pick a word. Someone pick a word in the first 3 rows. Is there a word you really like? Maddie, what's a word you like?
Georgia.
Georgia. It's a state. It's also a country. What's the ending on Georgia that we're studying? You know what the ending is?
GLE.
It starts with a G. You see it back there?
L.
G-I-A.
I.
Excellent. So we're going to find the GIA ending here. Do you want to come try and find it and click and drag it up? I'll help you out. It's near the vowels. And then it puts it in the box for you, just like you did on your paper. We'll be practicing this in class. And like I said, you can go to spelloflanguage.com at home and practice. When you're doing this independently, and I'm not around, we're not doing it as a whole class, it's really important that you practice saying the word and the ending. So when you click and drag an ending in place and it is correct, say the word, the whole word, then say the ending. If you're in a place where you can say it right out loud, do it right out loud. If you're not in a place you can say it out loud, do it in your head. Here in the classroom, we'll be doing it right out loud, all of us together.